we go.
Okay, so
Yeehaw!
first off, I want to say that today my book is still running a free promo for anyone who has not gotten their copy yet. It ends at 11:59 Pacific time. So make sure you go get it before it goes back to full price.
Yes, go get it.
Okay. So what we're going to do, again, as we were talking before, we're going to just kind of go through a list of questions right now. This is our second time doing this, so we're trying to figure out how we're going to do everything, so just bear with us.
Yeah.
For right now, it's going to kind of be just us talking, but I mean, do you care if people want to pitch in here?
I mean, as long as it doesn't get too derailed, because, like I said, I was on the other live and it did get a little derailed. So, yeah, if somebody just kind of wants like a little, if they have a little question that they want to ask, I think that should be fine.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So I think I didn't pay attention to the order of these questions. So I think what we should first state is, what are our books? What's the titles?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so my book right now that is live and published on Amazon, all the major bookstores, and it's in locally owned bookstore Night Owls Books in Troy, Missouri. And then I have one more place that I'm about to place it that's local to the Troy area that I will be announcing in like a couple weeks once I get stuff. But it is called Fool's Haven, and it is the first book to a trilogy series. So, that is mine.
Mine is Falling Forward. It is also live on Amazon. I do have it on Barnes & Noble Press, which you can search it up there. For some reason, they have double copies. I have to figure out what's happening with that one, where there's two different prices, but it's on there. And then I have it through Ingram Spark for stores to buy it. I just haven't contacted any stores yet. But my book is also there. And right now, it's a solo book, but my sister-in-law really wants a second one, so maybe it might be up there. My gears are turning about it, so we'll see.
I can't wait. Okay. So, these questions are going to be really out of order, so we'll be bouncing around. So I'll start with the first question. How do you come up with character names in the process for that?
So the way I do it is that I like to kind of research names. Although for Falling Forward, that one, I didn't really research names. Those names kind of came to me the more I thought about the story. And so for those ones, I was just kind of like, these are kind of everyday characters. This is a slice of life story. So I'm just going to have, just kind of like everyday names. So there's like Summer, Chase, and then you have the other side characters as well who have pretty basic names. But for my future projects, it's definitely going to be a lot more research into the meanings of the names, because I really like for like the games and movies and stuff when they go deep into like, oh, well, this person's name already foreshadows the whole story. And so that's kind of like the lore that I like to get into when it comes to more of the fantasy stuff.
I kind of jot down kind of like an outline of my characters, and when I start on the personality, I'll sit there and usually a name will just hit me, and I have to go with the first name that hits my mind. If I switch it, it really irks me. So usually, like, I get the tone in my head and how I want them, and then the name pops to me. As I've stated on the last week when we did the podcast, Buckley, well, he's an antagonist, not the main, but he is an antagonist. And as soon as I created him, Meryl from Walking Dead was the first, like, the voice and the personality is what popped in my head. So I tried to go with that flow with him. And I have to say he was probably my favorite antagonist to write.
I did really like him. When I got to him, I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely him.
It was fun to write. Even though he was kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
So,
He was just chaotic. Like he was just there to be chaotic, and I loved it. All right, I guess my turn. So, the next question is, tell us a little bit about yourself and what kind of genre or genres do you seem to gravitate towards?
ooh, fun question. So, I have been writing for as long as I can remember. Always wrote really silly things. Started fan fiction, which is why I think I gravitate towards the fantasy genre, because I wrote a lot of fan fiction based off of RPG games like Harvest Moon. I used to write, and that's how I met some people. Some of my, like, especially my head editor, Esther. I don't know if she's listening in or anything like that, but I actually met her through a platform for Harvest Moon. I write fan fiction for Fairy Tail, Attack on Titan, Servamp, and a couple other animated shows because I'm in anime.
Mm-hmm.
But I went through a rut for the longest time, lost my passion for writing, and I had recently gotten it back in about, I want to say it was 2021 or 2022, somewhere in that area. One of my best friends was living with us, and she happened to help motivate me to get back into writing. So I have a lot to thank for her. She is also the one who shot the cover page image to my book. But I had lost my love for writing, and I went back to writing, and now I'm published 3 years later. But fantasy with a twist of modern in it, because for some reason I can't just write straight fantasy. I still got to have a little bit of modern in it. Just like I can't write straight modern, it's got to have some fantasy in it. So low fantasy is typically what I write. But I am going to try my hands at a thriller.
Ooh.
Here, probably next year, taking a break between book 2 and book 3 of the trilogy.
Excited!
So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Not to interrupt. What's your thriller going to be about? Is it like going to be like a human versus human kind of thing, or is there going to be like a darker force at hand?
Well, I kind of talked about it briefly last week. It was from a dream. I had a very, very vivid dream, and it has to do with like illegal underground, like fight club type thing with human trafficking and stuff. It's kind of messed up.
I'm
It
sorry.
was from a dream. I think it's a question that's later down that I will get more into it, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's for me. The thriller or whatever is gonna definitely be a challenge for me. I'm definitely gonna have to do research. I don't see myself getting it within a year, just because there is gonna be a lot of research.
Mm-hmm.
But I am excited to try something new.
Yes, very exciting.
Yeah, I'm gonna write. And I want to write an easier point of view, because right now I write a lot of third point of view omniscient narrative, which is really hard to keep right. So I think when I do the thriller, I'm either going to do third person narrative where it's behind just one person, or first point of view. So that will be switching.
Yes.
Can I?
So I guess.
struggle with anything but omniscient, honestly.
What was that?
Sorry. I struggle with anything but omniscient, honestly.
Oh.
I can't be first person.
It can be difficult. I just want to say one thing. SA, I am so glad you got back into writing, because I absolutely adored Fool's Haven.
Well, thank you.
Yes, I agree. It was fantastic.
I got my first 4-star today.
Yeah!
Well, I had 5 stars, but then I looked and I'm like, oh, someone gave it 4-star, but that's still good.
It's still
I'm
good.
So happy, that's a win.
Yeah. All right. So as for me, I actually grew up a lot with like horror movies, horror games, thrillers, gore, like Saw and stuff like that. And so I gravitate more towards the darker genres when it comes to writing. However, with Falling Forward, that is more contemporary fiction with hint of romance and slice of life type thing. And it was actually going to be a lot darker than what it turned out to be. I did talk with SA a little bit about a specific plot point in it where there was going to be a different type of character, basically is unalived. And I decided against that because it didn't really fit the rest of the theme of the story. And so I ended up taking my own hiatus from writing. I've written since early middle school, I would have to say, and I've always loved writing, but there was a period in my life where like family stuff happened and I just didn't have time to write anymore. And Falling Forward was a short story that I did for a high school creative writing project, and it was like very short. It was specifically about the main female character, Summer. And that's originally how the story was supposed to be, was explicitly about her. But then when I got back into writing, which I'd have to say when I finally got out of the food industry and got into teaching, I decided I finally had more time to myself, ironically, to write a little bit more. And so it ended up being a good 3-year process of turning it from a little short snippet to a full book. So, but yeah, contemporary fiction is not usually my forte, but I did have a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with finishing that.
And you kind of cut out a little bit. Did you mention that what you're working on now is fantasy based?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I did not mention that. So the story right now I am working on is it's a dark fantasy, and there will be explicit themes in it, so there will be trigger warning at the very beginning of the book.
And she does her lives with a D&D themed dice roll thing that's really cool that I sat on yesterday.
Yes. It's changing my story a bit, but it's okay. At least it's not too much.
Okay, so this one might make you think, because it's something that you don't think about until you're asked. What is your favorite book? And any books that help with the writing process.
Ooh, yeah. So I have a hard time with just choosing one, whether it's a series or anything like that. My favorite series growing up, though, that I vividly remember, and I loved that they made a movie out of it, I love that they made a TV series out of it, Series of Unfortunate Events. And that was probably the first series that actually got me into reading, like, darker plot lines, because I just could not put that book down. Otherwise, I hated reading growing up. And so I really have to commend that series for putting me into that creative mindset. And then there were other books that came in as I got older, but they weren't very connecting with me. And then I did end up reading the first 2 books of the Akatar series. I read Crescent City, and I read 3 of the Throne of Glass books, all by Sarah J. Maas. And those ones definitely got me into, I need to make my story into a dark fantasy type theme. And then after that, having been joined into this Discord, I read Pandora's Dark Restart, which helped me with a very specific scene in my book, actually. Very inspiring for it. And then I read Fool's Haven, which honestly, SA, you did help me a lot, because there were certain scenes where I'm like, oh, I don't make my characters, like, move, because I noticed some of your characters, you'll say they shift their weight, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't do that ever. So I feel like those little nuances.
So advice from my freelancer, they told me and Esther also told me, instead of always using said, as, replied, blah blah blah, use actions to help try and not make it so repetitive. Mm-hmm. So I worked on that and trying to make it where there's more action showing what they mean and what they say and feel, rather than just saying, oh, this person said, this person said asked, this person you know.
Yeah. And so it was those little nuances that definitely, like, the more I'm writing my story now, the more I'm like, oh, I should, you know, put a little bit more action into this area because there's a lot of talking. I need more, what are they doing while they're talking? So I have to commend you for helping me with that.
Well, you're welcome. So, I would say I have books that kind of helped with the writing process and getting back into what I'm currently doing. So, I have been very open with people that I have a completed almost 200K word fan fiction that I was originally trying to convert, which I know there's people in the fan fiction realm that don't like people trying to convert to make it original. But I had so much of my own ideas in it that I just used the characters. I didn't actually go based off the show. So I'm like, I'm going to convert it. Well, that became too hard. And I realized, you know what? I can just recreate everything. So there is some similarities. So if anyone's ever read it, which I've had a couple people, and one of them was actually my ARC reader, and she told me that she's seen some similarities, but it didn't make her like focus on it. Like she said, she focused more on actually reading it than thinking of that fan fiction. But I would say that like the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard, her series was an inspiration to me too. I still got to finish it, but I read the first 2 books. I really liked it. And I actually started her series because I watched a podcast where a woman was bashing on the Fourth Wing series. And in one of the in the comments, someone had mentioned that it was a ripoff of Red Queen. So I was like, I kind of want to check this out. And I really fell in love with the Red Queen. So that helped, and it's in a lot of like the same genre so I'm writing. So I know that was one. I wouldn't say Fourth Wing series was something I looked at into writing, but just having that mindset and like the world building and stuff, it did help in that sense. Mm-hmm. But for this particular story, I would have to think fairy tale because that's how it started off at first, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to talk about that. I know some people are weird about it anyway, but that's who I am.
Yeah, honestly.
Hey, one of my was rated best romance and drama. Do what, Iris?
I said absolutely not. I will talk anime shop with you all day, hon.
I worked on one. I've been working on another Tale one that was in between while my editors was editing, and it got voted in. This is how I met my best friend in New York. And yeah, she messaged me saying that, hey, I just want to let you know that I liked Accepting Fate so much that I nominated it and it won for best drama and romance. So that was very exciting. And to this day, I kind of took a break from it back in March because it was becoming overwhelming trying to keep up with that and work on Fool's Haven stuff because, you know, 2.5 months before publishing, I had to market, do this, do that, work on edits, and it was just too much. So I haven't updated it in a while, but I have people trying to get me to update it. But now I'm so focused in the book too and trying to read everybody else's that are in our group. I'm like, where's the time?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Are we ready for the next question? I think we kind of got into it a little bit.
Yep.
Iris, did you have anything else?
No.
I'm gonna run away for a second. I'm gonna grab my headphones. That might help with the issue because you're cutting out really bad. And that
You
way
actually
I
cut
can
out on my end too. This time.
It was cutting out.
It was cutting out on my end as well. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go grab my headphones though. It might help with the echoing too.
Okay.
Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying to listen to you guys chat and throw stuff around my room, essentially.
You're good. You know, I forgot we were on TikTok, and so I look over and I'm like, oh, people are talking on there. I should probably respond to them.
It's like, if I'd known you would have been live on TikTok, I would have, like, joined on TikTok.
Oh, it's okay. SA is the one that's hosting it right now. If you're welcome to go on TikTok if you want to, or you could be on here. It's up to you. I think it's easier to answer questions if you're on here, but the TikTok thing definitely, like, I can look over. So, like, HJ asked, what are your tips for marketing and PR stuff? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll re-ask for her when she gets her headphones on.
Yeah, that's why I was muted, because all you hear is, like, crashing on my end otherwise.
Oh, you're okay.
You hear,
Dude, cars
What
for
do
me,
I
man.
for
There's cars out
marketing?
here, like hella cars.
SA, do you see HJ's question on there about PR and marketing?
Yeah. Okay. Does this help with the echoing at all?
Honestly,
Yes.
you come out really clear on my
Yeah.
end.
Okay. Cool.
okay, mute myself.
Marketing, it's hard. Keep consistent. Do it every day. Even if you don't get interaction, just keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have my authors page on Facebook. I have my Instagram. I have Twitter and I'm really not getting no traction with, but it's still up there. TikTok. I'm new to TikTok. Month and a half, maybe pushing 2 months. Still don't know everything about it. Still learning. But I would say consistently, do it daily, keep pushing.
Yeah. All right.
Private message you and kind of help you with that, but you have your own website, right? Because that's one thing I don't have yet, and I'm getting help for that. So,
SA, I do have a question for you.
yeah.
Were you able to get into the square so you could show me later?
Get into the square.
Was it no, or was it somebody else? I don't remember.
I don't know anything about Square, so that's not me.
I'm an absolute mess. I can't remember
It's
what
okay.
I ate.
KT
For food.
messaged me thinking I was HJ earlier, so it's okay.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Axel, what website company are you going through? So I think SA
Iris,
just...
that was HJ, she said.
Oh, no, I know, but Axel
Yeah.
said, Axel had a question, sorry. What website company are you going through? So SA stated that she doesn't have a website, correct? That's what you just said?
Mm-hmm.
I personally go through WordPress. That's where I did mine just because I was digging in and it was saying the authors usually really like doing WordPress because it's more of a blogging site and you do still get people who like to look at blogs who will just kind of travel on there and like look at your stuff. WordPress is really easy to use, and you don't have to worry about doing any coding. There is a couple things where I really liked Wix a lot more when it came to like designing your website, because Wix you can really kind of like really just like put anything anywhere you want to. WordPress it's a little bit more strict of like the guidelines. So it's up to you on how you want to do that. You do not have to get a domain if you don't want to, but it will say whatever name you put on there .whateverthewebsite.com. So it's okay. I've seen famous podcasts.
Iris told me Wix.
Huh?
Iris told me Wix.
Wix. Yeah, I did
'Cause I
Wix
asked
for my art
today.
website.
Okay.
Hey Ren,
Yes.
could you message that to me later?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me make a note of that for you.
Okay, I'm like, I need to know about this information.
No, you're good. And TC also said she's willing to help with websites, but I know that she's really busy too, so.
Yeah, she said she was gonna help me with mine, and I feel so horribly because I'm like, I know she's a busy lady.
Yeah. It's okay. Okay, so the next question that we have, we kind of got into it a little bit, was what was your inspiration to start writing?
Oh yeah, we never actually start that question because I walked away.
It's
I'm
okay.
like, wait a minute, that's the question we're on. I don't know. Honestly, my inspiration to start writing, I think it's just because I had such a creative when we were younger. I did a lot of pretend play and make believe, and I think that's how my storytelling started. Because I remember in grade school, when I was in speech, I would always carry a little notebook with me, and in my speech class, because I was so bored being in there, I didn't want to be there. I would jot down and write a story. I couldn't tell you what the story is about today, but I think that's how it started. Was taking a little notebook around with me during grade school and jotting down different things that my mind came up with, and then fan fiction really helped. My older sister Heather actually got me into fan fiction, and that's how that journey started.
Yeah.
So I guess
Sorry.
Oh no, you're okay. It's seen like other people sitting there writing their own stuff, and I'm like, hey, I can do that too.
Like writing, though, it's funny because I think it's just like a thing that you do your whole life. Because I remember my first story I have was from when I was like 3, and it's like just it's so funny to read. I'm like, oh, horrible.
I'm sure at 3 years old it is.
So for me, I did kind of mention a little bit, my journey started like early middle school. I was more into art in elementary school. I learned how to, I learned about, I didn't know the difference between cartoons and anime until I got into like 4th grade, and I had friends that were like, no, this is anime, and I'm like, but what's the difference though? Like, 'cause my mom didn't care what I watched.
American made animation.
Exactly. But I didn't know the difference because my mom didn't care. But I had friends who got me into drawing, and so I would create characters based off of, we'd have little art groups during recess. And then 6th grade came around, and I became really good friends with this one girl. We were inseparable, and one night we were doing like a little slumber party type thing, and she's like, I bet we could write a story. And I was like, I bet we can too. So we spent like 5 hours. We were up until like 2 in the morning writing this story. We thought we were such professionals because we went from beginning, middle to end. And honestly, I don't even remember what that story was about at all. But like, we were so
I'm going
proud
to
of
interject
it.
here for a second. You triggered a memory.
Oh, yeah?
And I didn't mean to cut you off. I think you're lagging.
No,
on my
you're
end,
fine.
So I thought you were done, and then you start talking again.
No, you're fine.
So then I want to say it was like 4th or 5th grade. We used to have like clubs in our school, and me and another girl actually created our own writing club.
Oh,
And we
that's
had
cool.
t-shirts made as a grade school.
Wow.
I don't know how we came up with the money, but we did. And I actually have a picture. I don't have it's upstairs, but when we get done, I'll have to send you a picture of it. That triggered a memory. I'm like, oh my god, I forgot that I used to run a writing club in school with another girl, and the other girl we don't really talk anymore because she's off doing her own thing now. But yeah, it's just funny you mentioned school and stuff like that, and
Yeah. All right. Bye. Bye, Sir Bob.
Bye.
Bye. See you guys later.
All right. I think it's your turn to ask the question now.
Were you done though? 'Cause
Yeah. No. I mean, that was
you
basically
off.
it. Like, I don't remember the story.
Yeah, I'm gonna say because I'm watching more on the Discord, so like when you lag, I can't tell when you're actually on.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so rather it be a published or work in progress, who is your favorite character? And can you tell us a little about them and their background and personality?
Okay, so I have to say that this character will definitely be translated into my current work in progress, but in Falling Forward, it's Kim. And the reason why is because Kim has always been with me as a side character for as long as I can remember creating characters. She has been, because like when I see my main characters start off kind of timid a little bit, and then they kind of get more character development. Whereas my side character Kim, for example, she is the strong female character that I feel that I just really love to portray in a story of like, you know, I'm here, I'm badass, like I can do what I want, I'm gonna help you through your journey, but also they kind of go through their own struggles too, and so. Kim will definitely be, again, translated as a different character quote in Beyond the Tyrant's Reach, so people will have to guess who she'll be. I guess, technically, she won't be in Beyond the Tyrant's Reach, not the book 1, but she'll definitely be in book 2, so I guess we'll see if the personality catches on, but yeah, I think she's just definitely she's been there, she's my girl, I guess.
She was a very strong side character.
Thank you.
And I hope on that second.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So my favorite. This is a hard one.
I know who your favorite is. That's not hard. You talk about him all the time.
Okay, so is a tie between, I guess they're considered side characters, Leon and Hollis. Leon is a being from a different planet, and Hollis is a shapeshifter. And after talking about it with several people, apparently we have the real life Leon in our little family here.
Is he still with us? Is he still? Yeah, he is. Yeah, you know, we're going to be talking about you.
Iris texted me last night and she said, I can definitely see it, what you're talking about. I turned the page and yep. Nope, that's him. And I sent him the screenshot last night.
Yes, you, Rain.
And how is, I don't know, like he plays a small role in Fool's Haven, but he'll be back. I don't think he'll be making an appearance in book 2, but book 3, he will be more of a major role, and I'm super excited to bring him back. But Leon is pretty much a being from another planet. He is a bond to Gracie, my main female character, who can't... She's a bonder, and she has these pearls that are on a wristlet, and when they can come and go, but when they're commanded to abide by her, it's kind of like a butler type persona. Kind of like, I would say the inspiration is from Black Butler, if anyone has watched it, when Sebastian is, considering that's where I got Sebastian from, but Sebastian, when CL commands him to do something, he gets that really demonic persona, and that's kind of what happens to Leon. But otherwise, when he comes and goes on his own, he's not commanded. He's super goofy and funny and witty and jokester all around. So he was a fun personality to write.
I loved Leon. He's my favorite character. 10 out of 10.
I can't even. That cracked me up when you talked about Black Butler and Sebastian.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Sebastian is actually the reason why I got into darker characters.
I love him. Yeah, I guess I would say I used some animes to bounce my ideas off of too. Because, yeah. Although Sebastian didn't come from Black Butler, but then when I said the name, like, oh, some could say it came from there, but it didn't. Sebastian's one of my favorite names, along with Elliot.
Me too. Sebastian.
But I used it in a different book, so I used Sebastian for this one.
All right. Next question. Did you use a functional outline, or was it just chaos that somehow worked?
Ooh, okay. For Fool's Haven, chaos. All over the board. And sometimes I contradicted myself because I would forget to write things down. I would be reading it, and I'm like, what? What did I do here? Nope. So, definitely very unorganized. I had different notebooks, printouts.
Oh my god, there's a bee in front of me.
Don't tell the bee to go away.
I can hear you, you're fine. The bee is
now book 2 and 3.
The bee is taking over for me now.
So book 2 and 3, I do have outlines for it. I have strayed a little bit, like book 2, like the order's a little different, and added some creatures into it that I didn't have listed because ideas popped to my head. But it's nice having the guidelines for something to go back and look at.
Right. Oh my god, this bee. Can it please go away?
Do you have perfume on?
Oh, hold on. I think it's gone. We just it'll just be always the one bee. The one bee. That's it. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
So, I don't have an actual outline for the thriller yet. I just have a outline kind of just telling who they are, but I don't have the actual book outline, but that will be an outline as well.
Yeah. I think for me, definitely, I was kind of in the same boat with Falling Forward. It was absolute chaos. I was just putting stuff down, and then when I went to go reread it, I was like, wait, why is this personality the same? Oh my.
These are all different adjectives that could be used, like synonyms.
No!
Or
Go
conceit,
away!
like arrogance, swagger, egotism, vanity, yeah. This was my very first notebook for writing.
I'm gonna be in my kitchen for a moment. Hold on. Don't mind my TikTok, my phone is out there. I don't care right now. I'm gonna be in here for a moment. Okay. Okay. But yeah, so Falling Forward was definitely chaos. Like, personalities were getting mixed up, and timelines weren't working, and so I was like, okay, I need, like, a basic, like, this character has, like, this colored hair, this colored eyes. In this chapter, this is the main, like, this happens. Next chapter, okay, this point happens. And so I kind of would have to add on a little bit more as things went on. As for my current work in progress, I have like a full outline. I found out for Google, there's like a little tab thing, and you could put your heading as each section that you could just quickly go to. And so it's like everything is completely laid out, character personalities, what they look like, what's happening to them, chapter summaries, like all of that. So it's definitely been helping me out a lot more. Are you okay?
Yeah, I took my headphones off so people on TikTok can hear you.
Oh, okay.
And not just me sitting there.
No, sorry. It's because their bee was like attacking me. I hated it. I'm gonna see if it's gone now.
When I first started, my husband begged me to
Worst case, I might have to move into the kitchen.
I have a question for you guys.
What's up?
Yes.
Have you guys... Okay, I don't know if this is just me, But has anybody else used like random like mugs or cups on their desk to put like scissors and pens and pencils into, like an actual cup?
Absolutely.
Well,
I have
don't have
one
an
right now
actual
in my
cup,
dining
but
room.
I have this.
I have a literal cup on my desk that like all my things are going into. So I was like, I have to ask.
That was a decor thing for, I think, my wedding. And then I just threw some rocks into it and some pins.
There you go.
Reuse, and recycle.
Yes.
Okay, being quiet now.
All right. I think it's your turn to ask the question.
You didn't answer it though, did you?
I did. The outline one?
Okay, well maybe that was when you were cutting out that I didn't hear it.
Oh, where it was
a
complete
yes or no question?
complete chaos, and then I found out Google, you can do like a header, and then go to each point, and then I have
Okay,
for my
that part.
No,
Okay.
you're good.
Okay. How many drafts did you go through en route to the finished product?
A lot. I wrote in my notes like over 5, but it was probably like over 10, honestly, because like I said, initially it was going to only be about Summer, and then I added it was going to be about Summer from Chase's perspective, technically. And her story was going to be completely, like, dramatically different. Like, I was going to have her running away from, like, an abusive boyfriend type thing. That ended up not being the case. And then I originally had a story where a specific character was going to be unalived. I even had the whole scene written out. I was almost done with the book. And I said, no, I'm going to erase all of that. So I had to redo, like, 2-3 chapters. And then I had a point where the band got really famous, and I was like, that's not really like everyday typical slice of life type thing. They're gonna, not have a good time. And so it definitely went over. I think if I want to put it at a good in between, probably like 8 drafts before I was happy with it.
So I would say my first chapter went through the most rough drafts. I am not exaggerating when I say that the first chapter has been probably revised, reworded, rerouted at least 15 plus times.
Yeah.
But I think my drafts are probably up there around the 6 to 8 2 on the average. So I didn't have the guidance at the time when I first started, so I did things really funky. And when I was halfway done, I started having people edit on it, which I don't recommend. Do not edit until you're done. At all.
Yep.
That was a hot freaking mess. Because when I got the first half done, I got pregnant, and things happened with my husband that I had to put writing on hold. So here's 8 to 10 months without me working on it, and then I pick it back up. Well, half of that got redone and changed, and scenarios changed, that I had my editors go edit for nothing.
Right.
When it wasn't a completed rough draft. So my advice to aspiring indie authors: make sure you have your rough draft completed before you try to have anyone edit it.
I think that goes into the next question too, is of what advice would you give someone into writing your genre? So would you say that's your advice, is to make sure you just finish the book first?
Yeah. Like my plan for book 2, because I'm trying not to do the whole, and I mean everyone's process is different, but for me, I'm trying to not go back and edit I'm trying to just write forward. And once I get the rough draft done, then I plan to go back because I'm already noting things that I need to change in book 2. And when I noticed some of the errors in the excerpts I sent you, but I have to tell myself, no, don't go fix it, because it's a bit. Because if you keep going back to edit, it's a vicious cycle, because then you never move forward.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because you just keep going back to edit, and to edit instead of moving on.
Yeah.
So I plan to do my actual editing after I finish the draft, which I'm hoping will be around winter, like December time, before I send it off to one beta. Because I am doing my process different this time, because experiencing my process with book 1 made me mental note what not to do with book 2. My I have 2 head editors that once all the betas went through, I kept those 2 on, and they one of the betas kept deleting it and overruling her editing, and I'm like, okay, we can't do this. So instead of fixing something that she sees, she's deleting my lead editor's edits, and it's like, no, don't be doing that.
Rain said 2 times, no editors, and then I refuse.
Well, I mean, in a way, you kind of have editors, because you ask a lot of opinions, and we give opinions, so I guess it's kind of...
Yeah. To go into, like, what my advice would be, if you're gonna do really anything, and you really want to put a lot of thought into it, I agree with the editing part, but I definitely think, sorry, I paused for a moment, because I thought I heard the B again, is definitely research. Like, unless you're doing completely something that's like your own entire world, you do not care what anybody says, because this is like your own entire world, but you want it to be, let's say you want it to be more realistic, and you want it to be in a actual setting, like Falling Forward was set in New York City, definitely do your research of like where the characters are going to be at, because if you're going to say, yeah, they're in, Central Park, but they're actually in, like, I don't know, New Jersey or something, don't please do your research, because people will be very mad. I've heard other authors, like, especially for ones who work in healthcare, and they're reading, fictional stories that are based in healthcare, and they say that sometimes they can't even finish reading the book because it's completely wrong when it comes to medical stuff. So if you want it to be close to realism, do your research.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could not finish the book. Can't remember when it was. It was years ago. But it was a firefighter book. And there were things that were completely wrong. And it upset me so much because I knew a firefighter at the time. And I was all like, I can't even. Because I was telling him about the book and he's all like,
yeah.
That's not right. And I was like, what? And yeah.
Yeah. So, research.
And yeah, that's why the thriller book's going to take me a hot minute, because I think I'm going to have to, go interview some people.
Yeah.
And, time is of the essence in my chaotic life.
Yeah.
I don't have enough of it.
Did you want to ask the next question, or did you want me to ask it?
Hold on, I gotta figure out where we were.
We just did the advice question, so after that would be particular scene.
Okay, yeah. Is there a particular scene or passage you're incredibly proud of?
So this is going to kind of answer the next one as well, which is what's the hardest part of the writing? Oh, no, never mind. No, what passage gave you the most difficulty? So this is going to answer that one as well from Falling Forward. It would have to be
Okay, I'll answer this.
What was that?
I'll answer them both too, and then we'll just go back to the question.
Okay. So one that was really difficult, but I'm really proud of, was the memorial scene in Falling Forward. And the reason for that is I had to take a hiatus while I was writing that, because I got to the point where Chase was doing an inner feeling type thing before he had to go out and speak. He had someone close to him pass away, and he had to go up and speak about them. And that part was really hard for me to write because I went through a similar event in my own personal life where I lost someone close to me, and I had to hold the memorial. I had to set everything up, and then I had to do my own speech. And so I went on hiatus because I was like, how do I write this? How was I feeling at that time? So I think I went on hiatus for a good 4 to 6 months, just trying to motivate myself to write this scene because I wanted it in there. So when I finally got it, it was actually funny. To get me to write that scene, I had to go through one of my manic depression episodes. And so as soon as I hit that, I was like, I got it. So that was my times. Yeah, it was my proudest, but it was also the hardest.
Okay, so proud of. I want to say the final fight scene. I want to say I'm proud of it because I struggled right there, and I actually stopped. I didn't finish that chapter, and I moved on and finished the book before I went back to do the fight scene, so I had time to process, because I knew how I wanted the after part to happen. It took a lot, but I was proud of how it turned out, considering that fight scenes are really hard to write.
They are.
It's different when it's drawn, but when you're trying to write it out, it's like, man, it's really hard. Mm-hmm. And then you're sitting there trying to do the same moves at the same time. Is this realistic enough?
Yeah.
You know? And then the most difficulty, probably the same, because I had to skip it and go back to it. In the sections that required a lot of revision, chapter 1.
Yeah.
Pretty much the first half of it is changed so much that I'm so sick of reading chapter 1 that I skip it when I go back to my books. I have read it so many times, and I've written it so many times, but I am proud of it, and I've been told that from people who have read it from before it got all changed, how much more it grabs their attention and how much better it is and how much they like it more. I'm like, good, because I'm not changing it again.
That's it, no more.
I'm trying to think, because I feel like there's another spot the troll bridge part, I had a little hesitant, I was very hesitant on how to go about that, and like I was telling you, I felt kind of cheesy the way I wrote it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, how from point A to right there to point B, how everything transpired, I'm like, this is an opportunity to really get them to express how they felt.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, why not have the troll be different? Instead of telling a silly joke, they have to, and now it's a regret. And then because the troll could feel the bonding link between him and Gracie, he knew she had more going on, which then transpired where they had to express 2 at least, because he knew that she was holding back.
Yeah. I could definitely see that too. I agree with you that the fight scene was hard, and then I remember you, like, we were private messaging. I remember you talking about the troll bridge scene too. So, yes, it's really fun. It's really interesting trying to put, like, how can I make it the plot line that I want it to be? Like, would this be a good spot type thing? What's
Why haven't you been to church? Someone said, why haven't you been to church? Jesus can cover your sins.
I mean, ignore. What? I'll pass. Hardest part of the writing process. The writing process.
Hardest part? Getting it on the paper.
Honestly.
And punctuation, grammar.
Honestly, just putting it down.
Because, I mean, you can put it down, but it's like the rest of it, like the imagery, the actions, getting it detailed, making it to where people can actually visualize what you're writing. I think that's the hardest part, because some people, like, might, like, when I read, sometimes I'm reading the text, but I don't see nothing. So it's just like, or I don't hear, but some books and some characters, man, if I'm reading them, I can really picture where I'm at. I can hear them in my ears. So it just depends if someone, can nail that part right to be able to visualize what you're actually reading.
Yeah, like for me personally, when I'm reading other people's books, for some reason my brain, no matter how much a person describes a character or what they're wearing, my brain cannot visualize what they look like. But if they are describing the setting and like the movements that are happening, I can definitely visualize that. So whatever characters are in my head is just kind of like silhouettes, I guess I could describe it as, and then I just imagine them going through their emotions. And then when I'm describing my characters, like, I can visualize my characters, but I have a hard time describing where they're at. So I don't know where that process is going. But I think for me, the writing process, honestly, my hardest thing ever, it happened with Falling Forward, it happened with my work in progress, is just getting the first paragraph down on the first page.
Yep.
Just starting it is the hardest part for me.
Don't read that. Don't read what?
Oh, I think he might be talking about the bot.
Oh. I think it's just me and you and Rain right now.
Yeah. Well, oh yeah, because I'm technically the second person. Oh well. Your previous comments?
Sorry. I haven't filled out any questions.
Okay. I mean, we've already read your previous comments, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about either.
Did we want to just, like, do a popcorn of, like, questions now at this point? Like, just find a question?
Yeah, because I gotta get off in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
For my grocery pickup.
Perfect. Okay, so did you want to ask the next one?
Sure. Let's see. Let's try and find... What's a question? Okay, who is your least favorite character and why?
Ooh. Oh, that's a hard one. I kind of really liked all of my characters. Actually, no. If I'm talking about my published work, my least favorite character, and it's going to have to be both of them, I freaking hate that I had to write down the narcissistic parents Chase's narcissistic grandparents. I absolutely hated them. I wanted them to shrivel up and go away. But I really just wanted that more of like, he has a really messed up life. And like I really wanted to display of like, you know, his aunt's in poverty not because of, you know, just her. It's because her family just like thinks that she's a worthless being and doesn't deserve anything, and so therefore they don't give her anything. And so I absolutely hated them. But I felt like they were kind of needed to be there to amplify of the living situation that they grew up in. But otherwise, I enjoyed writing. Even Brandy, as much as I think it was KP, she was like, I absolutely hate Brandy. I enjoyed writing her because I really like bitchy characters who cause conflict sometimes. I think they're needed sometimes for a little bit of spice in a book, so.
Brandy made me sad.
Yeah.
Because I can relate to the whole situation of that part of the story between, with siblings. So I do have a character that I don't like.
Oh? Oh, is it who I think it is?
Dunlap, Sebastian's dad.
I can see that. I can see that in your writing.
Yeah. I made him go downhill in book 2.
I saw that with the excerpts.
Who'd you think I was going to say?
I don't know. I kind of wanted to think it was one of the other side characters. Oh, what's his name? Not Kinsley's boyfriend. One of the other guys. No, actually,
Theo?
I take that back. I'm going to have to say I thought you really didn't like Theo.
I don't like Theo. But he didn't play... I mainly only had him play, like, a very, like, dialogue or two in the beginning and then a short piece in the very end. But no, I don't like him either.
Yeah.
But Dunlap played a bigger, like, I didn't know what direction I was going to have Dunlap go in, but then I'm like, why don't I do this? Because, like, Sebastian always promised his dad that he wasn't going to leave. You know, Sebastian always said that he would never get into an actual committed relationship after his mom did, which I think, talking about it now, I might elaborate more about the mom situation in book 2. But, and then, so I guess when Dunlap saw what was happening between Sebastian and Gracie, it started making him freak out, and then he gets kind of obsessed, as you've seen in book 2.
Yeah, because he really portrays himself as like I'm the owner of the orphanage, like I love all my children, like I dote on them, especially when he like gave Gracie a hug. I was like, oh, he's kind of sweet. And then you gave me the excerpt of book 2, and I'm like, why is he such a fucking asshole? Like, what happened?
Well, so, like, Dunlap always wanted a bunch of kids, but Sebastian's mom she was young and ended up realizing, like, hey, you know, I don't want this life, so she left. And Dunlap, after that, couldn't get into an actual committed relationship, which is why he opened the orphanage, because he noticed that, you know, in the orphanage isn't just for kids, there is adults living there too, and like, when you read, I think it's chapter 2, I get a little bit more, like, explain a little bit more on there, like, from Sebastian's chapter, that he tries to get the older ones to get their own place, but people, you know, they still gravitate there because, you know, that was their home, and some do still live there.
Yeah.
But there is younger kids there, but I don't really dive into, like, the younger kids.
Yeah.
Just because the orphanage, in the end, doesn't play a huge role. It mainly did in the beginning.
Right.
But then once you progress into the book, it kind of just goes on the back burner.
I mean, it's fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we can do our final question, and I think this might be a good leeway into it. What platforms do you promote on?
I promote on Facebook, which is my main platform. It is facebook.com/a.a.flynn.author. TikTok, same panhandle is the s.a.flynn.author. Instagram, same. Tumblr, Discord.
Yeah, Discord. So for me, for TikTok and Instagram, it's ren.nightingale.author. For Facebook, you can just find me at Wren Nightingale, Wren space Nightingale. And then I have my own website, which is wrennightingale.com. Rain stated, what's a Tumblr?
Here, let me pull it up and I will show you.
Is that a joke question, Rain, or do you not actually know what Tumblr is? Because I feel like we talked about Tumblr before. Yeah, the social media site.
Is there a way to switch camera view around?
You should be able to. Oh, he said, my brain thought about the cup called Tumblr. Yeah, no, the social media site.
I don't know how to switch it. But kind of just like, I would say something similar to Instagram, but this is like a lot of anime stuff. Comics. Although right now I'm on a lot of fairy tale I follow a lot of fairy tale stuff.
As you should. You're okay, Rain.
Aw.
All right. Well, I think that's it. And then next week, what do we have planned for next week?
We are skipping next week because you're gone.
Yes, the
And
week
then-
after that. So we will not be here next weekend, but I think it was August 17th, correct?
Whatever that Sunday is, yeah, the 17th, we are doing work in progress. So we're going to be working on our current whips, and we're going to just be like kind of giving little teasers or getting suggestions or, all that kind of fun stuff. So it won't be as talkative, but we're going to have people I don't know.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to join in on the Discord, or maybe we can have it also on the TikTok, although that might be a little chaotic. If we could talk about our works in progress, and we can give suggestions. Huh?
With how chaotic it is between both, maybe this one should just be a Discord one, or
Probably.
just a TikTok, whatever.
Yeah, whichever one. So, yeah, stay tuned for the 17th.
Yep. See you guys.
All right. Bye-bye.